Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Just give us a minute. I have to be able to share this video and make it visible for everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. So we are share this to a page. Great.
Actually, you should be able to share it directly to me as well.
Okay. So guys, just give us 1 second.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Let me know if you can see us. Just say hello in the box below.
My next is share to page,
Yes.
and you should be able to friends timeline. You should go straight to mine.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go. Just give us 1 second. We're gonna be done. Great. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Morel. Thank you. I am so happy to see you this morning from London, UK. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you. So, guys, we're using a different platform, and I do hope that I can see you as soon as you drop a comment. But if I cannot, bear with me. I still love you all, and I am just going to stay in the So Unique page. If you're on So Unique, I will be able to see your comments. But if you're not on So Unique, then it might be difficult. I'm sorry about that, guys. So thank you. Thank you for making out time to be here. Hello, hello. I can see that we have people jumping in. I was just trying to share this to as much people as we can. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Helene, for being there. Thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. I can see you. If I do not call your name, I still love you all the same. It's just that I cannot see you at this point. Um, thank you for being here. I'm just trying to share this to a different page. We're using a totally different platform this morning. Okay, we always try to make things better. It's the best for you. That's what we want. So I had to bring in Coach CJ again today. Yay! So happy Saturday, guys. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much. I can see all the loves and the likes. Thank you. When we have a lot of loves and likes, Facebook does something great with this. They try to share this video with as much people, and together we can build a community of like-minded individuals. So I just want to say that this is the 24th series, okay? Series number 24. We started in April, and we are here already. It seems like yesterday. And that is because you have been making out time to be here. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'm not going to take it for granted. First of all, I'm going to apologize that we came in here a little bit late. It was some technical difficulties, but we've gotten this sorted. And if you can hear me, just say hello. Put it on the screen. Hello, hello. I want to be sure that you can hear me loud and clear because guys, we have a new mic here today. Did you notice a new mic? This is because we love you so much. And because of what happened yesterday, Coach CJ had to drive all the way to meet with me here and just make this possible. So just give him some heart and some love and show him some love for making the sacrifice to be here, guys. So this is the Civilized presence, and you are in the right place at the right time, waiting to get the right message. Thank you. Said the sound is crisp and perfect. Oh, thank you so much, Morel. This is great. This makes us feel good because we've been working on this, and I didn't even know that this guy was a technician. He did such a great job to fix this up. So give him some thumbs up. Yes, he said, well done. Thank you. Okay, so the main focus of this Facebook series, if it's your first time to be here with us, is really to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations. And ever since I started, I had promised you that I wasn't going to do this alone, and I hope that I didn't let you down because I've been bringing in experts from different parts of the world, and we have just been doing it and having fun. Now, we've been working with how to foster civility and just kind of drive it back home. In the month of May, we had the Global Civility Awareness Month. In the month of June, we had the Kindness Challenge. That was great. I hope you were part of it. But it's not too late. If today is your first day, welcome. There's a challenge coming up. Anytime you work with me, there is always a challenge because we try to make it easy. We want the concept of civility to be very easy for you to just embrace and adapt as a way of life, a new way of life. And that's how things should have been done. I remember back in the days, civility did exist, but maybe the name did not. Our parents called it common sense, but we just realized that as we grew up, common sense is not that common. So people have to be educated, and we have to create an awareness of what is happening. So being civil is not that hard and complicated. It's as easy as saying please and thank you, or even to share a compliment. Like I'm going to say this morning to Coach CJ, you look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So
And I
it's
like
all.
your nails. They match my
Thank
shirt.
you. Thank you. It's all about easing the experience of the person next to you guys. My mom always said, if you do not have anything good to say, what is the advice? Keep quiet. So try to make sure that you're saying the right thing to ease the experience, because sometimes we're at a different point in our lives and something is going on. You can see the media these days. There's so much happening in the media, suicides and all of that. And it's all because we are not paying attention, guys. And this is why we're bringing this session to you, to encourage you and remind you to treat people the way you want to be treated. Please, that's a starting point, the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So I'm not going to take so much of your time today because Coach CJ is in the house, and that means we have to get back to business. But let me reintroduce him for those of you who didn't get a chance to see him yesterday. Coach CJ is the founder of MENISTRY. Okay, and MENISTRY is really an academy for King's personal growth and development. He's also a leadership speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. And his life mission really is to help boys become men and men become boys. And that's the title for today. He has a lot of experience. He's been in the Navy for over 10 years, and that's where he started his career from. And he has been working tirelessly to mentor young boys and men right from the schools or even the juvenile detention center. He's working with a lot of young people. So many parents feel safe to just go and drop their kids with Coach CJ. So if you do think that you have a young man or an older grown man who is giving you trouble, you don't want to think about it anymore. Coach CJ is in the house. We're going to tell you how to get that child of yours, brother, uncle, father, husband, registered for a great program, okay, that is really going to help to transform and change their lives. And I think that this is a problem that affects almost everybody, because even if you don't have a son, trust me, you have a neighbor, you have a brother, you have a father. We all do have a father, I hope so. And you have an uncle, okay, and or maybe your neighbor, somebody in the community or in the schools. There's so many children on the streets who have dropped out because nobody is paying attention. So guys, don't get me started this morning because it's a topic I can just keep going. So I'm going to give a chance to Coach CJ to say hello to the audience. Coach
Hello,
CJ?
hello, hello. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for even wanting to understand more about civility and wanting to understand more about me and what it is that I do. I greatly, greatly appreciate your time because we know you could be anywhere, but we're glad that you're here with Civilized Presence.
Thank you. So, guys, before we get this party started, let me share with you the definition of civility. We always have to do this. We have to remind you what this is about. And that's going to be the definition from civility experts. It is a conscious awareness of the impact of one's thoughts, actions, words, and intentions on others, combined with a continuous acknowledgement of one's responsibility to ease the experience of others. Example through restraint, kindness, non judgment, respect, and courtesy, and a consistent effort to adopt and exhibit civil behavior as a non negotiable point of one's character. Now, I know at the back of your mind you're thinking, Louisa, that's so That is a mouthful. Yes, it is. So the only thing that you need to take away from this session is that civility is focused on people's treatment. Another thing is golden rule. So if you can remember that it is focused on people's treatment, it has to do with golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. That is a great point for us to get started from. So the session today is not all about me. It's all about Coach CJ working with the boys. I can see that we have a lot of people who are logging on and just trying to learn. Hello, Enno from Virginia. Thank you so much. So, Coach CJ, I'm going to send you the first question. Put it up to you because yesterday's video was great and not so great because towards the end of it, the connections got us messed up, and it's so good to have you here in person. So we're gonna drill you with all the questions today. So the first question for me or to you would be, what does civility mean to you, and how important is it in the work that you do in your program, ministry, as a leadership development coach working with young men?
Um, so a key term that I took out of your definition is ease the experience for others. I think when it comes to leadership, that's an important trait that's missed out. Leadership is not in me ruling with the iron fist and me standing over and forcing anyone to do something. Leading is serving. And I
Mm,
think it's important for men to learn the importance of serving.
mm,
Uh, um, as an expert men's coach, it's important for a man to be able to anticipate need,
mm,
to be able to anticipate what needs to be done. How can I make your life easier? How can I add value to you?
mm,
So that's what we shape and teach our young boys. You know,
mm.
being able to anticipate the need, being able to serve before someone asks you, understanding that my goal here is to ease the need of others, ease everyone's experience, so it's a lot easier being here.
Mm.
We all need help in some form or fashion, and being able to anticipate help and being able to serve before someone can ask you, I feel like that's how you can clearly distinguish men and clearly identify good leaders.
Thank you so much, Coach CJ. I can see a lot of comments coming in, but unfortunately, I'm trying to look at it. It is important for men to learn to serve. Thank you.
Yes.
You caught the right one. And you know, sometimes it's such a struggle because if there is one gift that I know that the men have is the ego. Ah, they don't want to hear this. So it's all about me. It's all about me. I cannot serve. You should serve me. Everybody should care about me. I'm the center of attraction here. You cannot tell me what to do. Okay? But I believe that right after this session, we will get a lot of feedbacks that things have changed. So, guys, please do me a favor. Can you just love this video and share it on your page? Because I want people in your network to have access to this information. We might not always have Coach CJ here, so he's here today. Give us all the questions, okay? Bring on those men. Wake them up. It's Saturday morning, but wake them up. They need to hear this message. This is a great message. It's a message of change. And I cannot be listening to this alone. I want you to be part of this. So, Coach CJ, I know that from birth, you know, boys and men are wired to be boys and men, okay? With the ego and, you know, the masculine voice. Now, how can they be protected from the influence of just about everything? And when I say everything, I'm talking about the society, I'm talking about gangs, the drugs, alcohol. How do you work with them, you know, and help them through your program to do this?
Uh,
Over to you.
so this is especially for the parents. I think you
Mm,
should be vigilant in who you allow your children to interact with.
mm,
I understand that we can't control everything, but a lot of things aren't said, right? You should see someone and explain these things to your son. You know, this is not what a man is. This is not. You see what that person is doing. I want you to be better than that. Understand that you don't have to do this. You don't have to behave in this manner. You don't have to. Um, act a certain way. You have to identify the bad influences as well as affirm the good influence. So when your child does something that you appreciate, that you notice, the same thing you do with an infant when they starts walking, you clap, you applaud the small steps, you applaud the good things, and you don't harp on the bad things, but you let them know that that's wrong. Especially in our society, it's important to surround them with positive male influences, surround them with men that are going and striving towards something positive, and
Mm.
important to let them know that their friends, right, your circle, it's important to choose your circle wisely. The children that hang with A students usually get A's.
Great, great. That is so powerful. Identify the bad influences and affirm the good things. Thank you, Morel. See,
Yes.
that's why I love having you in the house because you were so great with just copying it. And just so you know,
Fast
that
too.
is Coach Morel. She is from
Yes.
the John Maxwell team as well. She is amazing. She's doing a lot of great work with the Encourager. We should have her on the show very soon.
Thank you.
So I have a three-part question for you
Okay. Three
and
parts.
three parts. Now, the first part is where did the idea of ministry come from?
Okay.
The second is who is your target audience? And the third is how did developing men become your passion? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay. So I guess we'll start from the third question because the third question helps with the first question.
Right.
So men becoming my passion. I grew up in a single parent home for the most part, and I didn't have a lot of positive male role models. Me having I call them grown boys.
Mm,
They were just older, but they hadn't really figured out, and they didn't have the identity and characteristics of men. But I looked into these guys, thinking that they would help me learn to grow to be a man.
mm,
I was sadly mistaken. Looking up to these guys, looking up to society, the music, the culture, it led me down a path where I had become a grown boy. I wasn't a man. I wasn't serving. I wasn't leading. I wasn't helping. I wasn't adding value. I had poor character. So all these things that I had, and it took me to a place where I think when I became about 25 or 26, um, I really got a relationship with God and got into a church, and I was able to see actual God-fearing men and men that served, and I was like, something's different. Why are these guys different? Men that were faithful husbands, men that were good fathers. I
mm,
began to see something different. So that led me on a journey of identifying why society has lowered the bar on what it is to be a man. Why society has lowered the bar so anyone looks like a man. All males look like a man. So in going through this journey, I wanted to draw the line in the sand. I wanted to clearly distinguish males from men. I wanted to clearly identify what it is to be a man.
mm,
So I started with self-development books and self-help books and just understanding the identity. I started from the beginning and figured out what was wrong with me, why I didn't know who I was, why I didn't know the
mm,
dominion and power. And I
mm,
saw that when you take the male from the home crumbles. When you
mm.
take the male presence out of the home. So I believe it was an intentional attack to weaken society and just remove the men and remove what means to be a man.
Mm.
So from that, me wanting to develop and reaffirm and build up men, that's where ministry came from. Me just wanting to have a form and an avenue where I can pour directly
Mm.
into men to help men become better. I realized that should be the goal, and an actual man is seeking to become better, so they line up. I have a group called High Performance Males, where we come together as men's coaches to coach men to become better. And I
Wow.
started with the young boys because I felt like this was the next generation. These are the
Mm,
guys that were going to go up and not be able to identify the grown males from the men.
mm,
So I just wanted to add a influence and add a presence so these young boys would be able to identify the difference between the two. And so they would be able to strive to have something to work towards and look into. With the bar of men being so low, or with males being so low, I didn't want these young boys to succumb to less. I wanted them to have something to
mm,
identify with and even aspire to. And
mm.
I think the second question was
So where did the idea
okay. So
come from?
so that was where um, I was doing ministry is just a form of ministering to someone, and I wanted to clearly identify that
This
I
is for
really
men.
wanted to minister to men. So
Wow.
it was just a play on words, and it happened to work out pretty well.
I think it caught my attention
Yeah.
because I'm thinking ministry. This has got to be something. The first time I saw it, I think it's such a great choice of a title or your
Yes.
company name or your program. Now, I really want us to talk a lot about ministry because this is the program. Believe it or not, yesterday I had a lot of feedbacks. Um, people sent me messages and said, "You have to bring him back." Okay. I said, "I love the creativity in the name. Perfect. Yes." I said, "You had to bring him back. This is the topic that we want to listen to." So I want people to know that ministry is easily accessible.
Yes.
Okay. And because you were working every day tirelessly to make this happen, now how does ministry go about raising boys into strong, confident, and independent men? Now, do you have like programs? I know you're trying to talk about high performance, but I want you to tell the audience
Okay.
precisely what kind of programs do you have? What are the steps that they have to start working with you? Where can we find you?
Yes.
Yes, so
So,
over to you.
so to find me, it's King.Akintade across Facebook and Instagram is to find me. I also have a show, a radio show, internet show called Ministry that I do Mondays from 5 to 6 p.m. Right here live on Facebook. And you can also get in contact through the Roku, Fire Stick, and there's an app, WBGR app. And you look for WBGR. It's a gospel radio station, and that's where I do my show, the show ministry. And as far as how do we make the impact in young boys, so we start with identity. A lot of young men, especially if they don't have a father figure in the household. There's identity issues. There's abandonment issues. So you really try to you build a relationship with them so you can get able to get the opportunity to really dig in and get to the eternal issues. And what I find is a lot of them, it's a lot of hurt and anger and resentment from growing up without a father or growing up without a positive male influence. So once you identify the problem, you then begin to build on it. So I build on it by letting them know that you're not the victim here, right? What you've been through isn't going to stop you. What you've been through is what's going to shape you, right? There's passion inside of your pain because I shared the same story. So I identify with them because I'm here because I grew up without my father and I didn't know what it was to be a man. So that led to me wanting to identify with other young boys. So we start with the identity, and then we build upon that with character, discipline, self control, and we just kind of walk them through to shape them into being better men.
So we have a question here. It says, if you notice that a friend is displaying more of a grown male behavior as a woman, what would you do to help your friend?
Well, so if I notice, so I would say women. I think it's important for women to be able to identify the difference between a man and a grown male because grown males will treat you um, a way that you allow them to treat you, and so a lot of women are seeking and hoping men to change. It's very difficult to change someone else. So what I would say is set clear boundaries and clear restrictions on what you will and will not tolerate. And it's important to be strong enough to leave if you have to. Don't allow someone to treat you less than you desire to be treated.
Right. So I'm just going to say that, every man does have a power to, brighten their corner, whether it's their home or people around them. And that's how they were created. So if we have a lot more people, a lot more men who believe in the concept of civilization, not just believe, but practice being civilized, then it's going to reduce the amount of people who feel depressed. It's going to reduce women around them feeling discriminated. I saw something on your network, and it was talking about every king needs a queen, and I thought that was fun.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, well, when you say king, is that a civilized man? Because it doesn't look like every man is a king. So can you tell us, about who a king really is? Who is the real man? Because there's so much versions of men, on the streets these days. We will see all kind of men on TV, and people just think that being a man is connected to negativity. People think that being a man is connected to being aggressive.
Yes.
Because you want to feel eccentric. And especially, we have the best society here, wow, with a lot of terrible influences. So, who is a real man? And what kind of attributes should that real man have?
So when I base a real man, right, when I say king, My reference is the King of Kings as far as Jesus, and so I look at the character of Jesus when I go to being a real man. So the first thing is a real man is civilized, right? A
Right.
real man, and the definition of king is servant leader, and
Mm.
the key word in that is servant, right?
Mm.
My desire is to serve, 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 serve,
Mm.
and in my servitude, I began leadership because when you serve someone,
Mm.
they didn't. You didn't have influence over them.
Right.
So in
Right.
the midst of servitude,
Right.
that's where leadership comes to.
Mm. Yes, the
So a
character of
king,
Jesus.
yes.
Yes.
So a king is a civilized individual. A king is a gentleman. A king is someone that desires to serve. When
Mm-hmm.
a king walks in a room, the environment should change.
Right.
There should be hope. There should be help. Um, help, help, help.
Mm.
A man that does not serve, a man that does not help, is a man that does not add value, cannot be a
Mm.
king. And even I question whether or not they can be a man.
Mm.
It's very important to serve. This is what it takes. This is what we're called to do,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
I love what civilized president. It's just serving. It's how can I like adding ease to someone else's life is the
Absolutely.
definition. And I think that they line up so one in hand in hand. They line up as far as being a king and being a civilized man. I think the
Perfect.
definitions are merging together.
Right. So I'm going back to the audience. Thank you so much. I can see a lot of comments. Some of them I can see, some I cannot. But I love you guys all the same. We will be able to respond to any of the questions. If you have a question, put it in the comment box below. The coach is in the house, okay? This is the right time to bring the question
This is the right
because
time.
Louisa might not have the right, answers for ministry,
Yes.
but Coach CJ is here, and I will leave all of his contact information, okay, in the comment box below. And if you do have extra questions that you don't want to put it here, because you see, the society and the whole thing about the man figure in some parts of the world, just like where I come from, the men, they're so egocentric in nature that even the women who are around them sometimes are not very happy but cannot say it.
Yes.
There is that fear of being able to say it, of being able to say the right thing. And so I am so happy that you've been able to differentiate who is a grown boy,
Yeah.
a man, a king. So my question to you would be, who do you want to be this morning? Do you want to be a grown boy? Do you want to be a king and be civilized? Do you want to be a man? And it is not too late for you to become a man. It's okay if you did not have the right influence, and that could be the case. Sometimes we're not around the right people while growing up, and that's okay.
Yes.
But now that you know,
Yes.
you can take the step today. You can own your own future right now from this minute. You can become responsible and send me an email, okay, on Louisa at the civilityacademy.com, and with the cap says, I want to learn how to become a king. Now there's another question. How does a king must see a submission in the marriage? Do you want to work on that? We have a question about that.
Submission in the marriage. So what I would say is it's important for, well, if I'm serving my wife,
Mm.
right? If my main goal is to serve my wife,
Mm.
I've noticed when you are really in tune and you're serving, um, the submission will happen because the submission will come from your wife knowing that you are leading her, that you are serving her, that you
Right.
have. If you know that I have your best interests at hand,
Mm.
then you have no problem following and submitting to me.
Mm.
And that's what I've learned in my experiences. Although I'm not married yet, just from talking to the married men I met, when you really love your wife
Mm.
and you're really committed to serving, um, the submission will come. I don't think that you
Mm.
have to force women to submit because
Mm.
um, it's innate for us to both play our roles. So
That's right.
with me loving and serving you, you have the desire to follow me and
Mm.
submit to me because you know that I have your best interest at hand. And even when I missed the mark, you still know that I had your best interest at hand because of the love that I've displayed
Mm.
and the servitude that I've displayed to you. I
Great.
hope I hope that answers your questions, Morel.
I think that was great. She's giving you a thumbs up there. And when you serve, submission follows. That's correct. So it's a two-way thing. You got to serve, and submission follows. Okay, so finally, Coach CJ, unless we have another question, but I have one more question for you,
Yes.
and this is about the families, because we have seen that a huge portion of the influence comes from the families where these young men, are part of. It is very important, and sometimes the families try to disconnect from the future of the young man. A lot of families I find just send you to school and it's just like do your own thing, and before you know it, they're in the gangs, they're with the drugs and all of that. What can you say to the family? How can they, be of help in really trying to care for this man and impact them in the right way? How can they work with them positively to create the right kind of men that we want to see in the society?
I believe it still takes a village. A village works for me. And when you look at the gang culture, they usually are seeking acceptance and love. And unfortunately, sometimes they do not have these things at home. There's
Mm,
not acceptance and there's not love. A lot of times we get caught up with our society of go go go, make money, make money, make money,
mm,
and we forget our first ministry. We forget our first job is to raise your children.
mm,
The first job is to protect the children, right?
mm, mm.
Um, so it's definitely about having love and having civility in the household,
Absolutely.
right? Having civility in the household, I believe it brings the family together and it helps steer the children in the right path,
Mm,
in the right path. Children understanding and being civilized at a young age, understanding what civility is at a young age, that goes a extremely, extremely long way.
mm.
It can last a whole lifetime if they're taught early enough, and we very well should be.
Great. Thank you so much. I was just checking if we do have another question. It says, have civility in the household. Yes, shout it out, Morel. That's the right thing to do. Thank you. So we're almost at the end of this party. Guys, have you had your glass of drink yet? We're ending up. Let me know if you still do have a question. And thank you so much, all of you, for making out time to be here. This is a topic that is so important. We will bring back Coach CJ again very soon. And we will talk about the programs that he's running within the school system, because I know that from your bio, you're
Yes.
doing a lot of work with the school system. So do you have to be a certain age for you to start working with the
No.
children?
Well, so at certain age, the youngest I work with now is 8 years old,
Mm,
because that's just what works for me.
mm,
A little younger, depending on the child. I've learned that different children mature at different ages and they have different needs. So I currently work with as young as 8, and then there are some men that are older than me that I work with as far as the high performance coaching. Just men that understand that they aren't at their best and they would like to get better. And with young boys, it's usually the boys that I see that have a behavior problem, anger issues, um, and even identity issues. Those are usually the young men that I work with, and I start as 8, usually third grade is the youngest I usually deal with.
mm,
Around 8 years old to as much as 17 and 19.
mm.
But I usually don't go younger than 8, unless there's there's different children that mature, so there are exceptions
Right.
to be made.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. We are actually getting to the end of this session, and thank you for making out time to be here. This is the second Saturday that we've had a guest, and this is great. I think it we'll have to think about it, because it
Yeah.
looks like Saturday is a great time to learn more and just, you could be in the comfort of your home and have your breakfast with you and come on our channel and just learn something for 30 minutes, isn't it? So we will think about it. But thank you so much. Like I told you at the beginning of this session, this is the Civilized Presence. We are here every Mondays and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Mondays and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And I have a surprise for you on Monday, guys. You don't want to miss it. 9:30, I'm going to be here right on time. Today we had to work on a few things, and that's why we came in a little bit late, but we are always here. Now, I got so much feedback yesterday. Thank you so much for all of you that sent me a mail asking for how you can become a civility ambassador, and a trainer. So we have a lot of programs that are lined up for you, for great, great, great programs. We have one that is going to be showing up on YouTube for children ages 5 to 8. Okay, and we are going to be using the curriculum from the Golden Rules Civility. And some of the topics that we'll be working on would be kindness, courage, first impression, and just being able, and telephone manners. How many of you have an 8-year-old child who does not know how to talk on the phone? You have to be in that program, and it will be on YouTube. I will share with you the link for you to come on that program. It's totally free. You don't have to pay anything. Just bring the kids. Because I find that a lot of parents would say, oh, my children are not on social media. They don't have a Facebook account, but they go to YouTube. Now, it's time to take them to YouTube for the right thing. So we'll be airing on YouTube very soon. I will have the information next week posted on my page. All I'll need from you is just to register, give us the right information of the child that's going to be on the channel, and it will be totally free. We'll give them access to be part of our programs, and you also have to work with them on the activities. That's all we need. You don't have to pay anything. Now, I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to Mr. Safford, because he contacted us, and he is ready to send a lot of food from Panera. Everyone knows about Panera bread. I think they have good food. And so if you are in the nearby neighborhoods, whether it's Fairfax, Maryland, in the DMV area, and you have a facility of people or families who have no food, guys, listen, nobody should be hungry. So now, the Civilized Presence is giving out food. Okay? So please contact me, send me an email. It's Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. And we are just going to bring food to you. So I want to know, who are those people who are not able to afford some good breakfast from Panera? We are here to serve you. So thank you so much, Mr. Safford. And more people who want to be part of our program. I've gotten a lot of messages, and they're asking me, how can we sponsor some of this program? Nobody should be hungry. Thank you, Muriel. So please, I just want to provide breakfast so that you can have something to eat while you're listening to me on Saturday morning. Okay? Thank you. So we have a Train the Trainer program that is scheduled for Virginia, and that will be August the 25th. Now, more information is coming. We have another one for London, UK, Dubai, Nigeria, and Ghana. Now, if you're in any of these cities and want to be part of our training, that's fine. Just send me a message, and I'll let you know how you can get registered. And if you cannot attend a live program, you have access online to get trained. Send me a message. I want to hear from you. This program is really designed for you to make you happy and learn to behave and think differently. So the more information, the more questions that you send to me, the better I can serve you. So we are at the top of the hour, and we have to go. I'm sorry. I don't really want to let you go. I don't want to let Coach CJ go, but we have to. And we will be here Monday morning, same time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So bye for now. See you then. Bye-bye.